Hey guys, we're at YCS Vancouver and we're here with...
My name is Ahmed.
And what did you do this weekend?
I got 28th at YCS Vancouver.
Nice, and what did you play?
I played K9, Dracotail, Fiendsmith.
And why did you decide this was the deck to play?
Dracotail's sick, but it needed some help to raise its ceiling, so I was like, just put in Fiendsmith cards because they're broken.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Alright, let's get into the profile.
Right.
Okay.
So for the Fiendsmith, or for the Dracotail cards, we have 3 Femena, 3 Malulu, 3 Lucius, just all your starters basically. All these cards get you to the same cards. And then the 1 Pan and 1 Urgula. These basically just break all the boards you need. Going second, it was so easy. I went first, I think once. Like I won 1 die roll the entire event. And this was basically what helped me break all the boards, these 2 cards. Yeah, pretty self-explanatory. So for the K9 engine, 3 Azuna, 3 Jokel, and then the 1-ofs, the 1 Lantern and the 1 Lupus, obviously. I decided to play the Jokels because it had synergy with the Femena, and then I also played like a Beast, so it's another level 5. And then with the Lantern, instead of making a second 5, I would just use them to make Moon. And I just push with that. So just like free access every time to that. And then the other 5 I played was Cheryl Beast. Other than it being a level 5 is you can just draw with it every time you fusion, and then you can always set up going second. Or when your board is done, you can just set up having a Malulu and a Beast. So you can just make a window on their first activation to special summon. So like if they go like Holy Suit special, you just chain Femena, make a window, and they're locked for the turn.
Why didn't you play any of the other ones, like Hedgehog or Squamata?
I think it's just like the count space, because I have so many other cards that I kind of combo with it. I think it was just this was enough. This was enough. The 5 was more than enough. I think more than that, those cards kind of didn't do anything on their own. So I didn't want to have too many cards in my deck that didn't do anything on their own. And then my next engine, very small, but it does a lot. Just 1 Lacrim and 1 Engraver. I drew these like they were played at 3, but it's fine because you just fuse them off and then use them engrave or just add them back. But I caught so many people off guard with this today, where I would just have like a Lucius or an Altharion on the field, and I just made a Moon with them, and they just were so rushed and felt so like awkward to interact with it, because they just like, oh, I have to interact with this right now. So my Azuna spent more time under a Nash Knight than in my graveyard, or my Moon of Close Heavens, I meant. Shout out to Justin, he did that a lot to me. That's that. Then for my non-engine, played 2 Nib, 3 Fua, and 3 Purulia. These are my only actual hand traps in the deck. These are fine in this deck because you draw them first, you just fuse them off and replace them with a different card. I only played 2 of this because I always wanted to see this with something else, like an Azuna or a Femena, so that I can bait with those and just like nib them. I did that a couple times against VS, where just you clear their entire board after you force them to use the Ripper with Azuna or with Femena, and you just nib them after.
What about Ash?
I didn't really care for Ash in this deck like specifically, because the multi armies don't affect me that much, because I can just go half board with the Dracotail cards, or you can just sit on Azuna and Lupus and then do it on their turn. So, and I just felt like as a hand trap itself, it was kind of weak if it was your only interaction. I did kind of hope, I kind of wish I sided it instead of a certain card, just for going first to stop like Izunas and Holy Suits on my turn. But other than that, I didn't really miss it as a hand trap at all.
That's fair.
Just the 3 Ketu, 3 Rahu, pretty simple. These are your best cards in your deck. Use Resolve, you usually win the game. And then the 2 spells, or 2 traps for that. And then the last 2 cards are just the K9 and 1-ofs. This card was great. You pop this with Urgula to get to this card, and you just get extra monsters for the fusion summons. That's all the main deck is, 42 cards.
Would you change anything in your main deck, you think?
I would find a way to play more Urgula and Pan probably, but I don't know where I do. I'm already at 42 cards, so I don't know if that's siding maybe Purulia instead. I was thinking maybe that, just depending on how much VS and how much Yummy there is. But VS was probably the worst matchup, so I just wanted to main that card.
Sounds good. All right, you want to do the extra deck?
Let's do the extra deck. tokens. And these are the Dracotail cards, pretty self-explanatory. I didn't miss a second one all day. This was fine. You can just I put it back once with the trap after it got banished, and then I just made it again. For the non-Dracotail fusions, I made window a good amount actually. This won me a few games. This card never came up for its negate effect. I just kept on reborning Malulu and then making a moon with it. So this was really just monster reborn. That's all it really did.
And it stops Caesar, right? So
Yeah,
it's actually pretty good.
That worked out in testing. I never did it in actual practice, but it does just stop Caesar for fun. The K9 cards, I just played 1 extra 5, just the Ripper, then the Werewolf for the, what's it called, Liberation, or I think that's the OCG name, I don't know. And then Force Release, yeah. And then Valon was just the best 5 I felt like to make. A lot of times I'd make the Valon, I'd book something, and then I'd also have a Altharion on my field, like on their turn 0. So I was able to like start my turn to make an SP, like SP, and that would just, you could chain block your Valon to pop a card, or you can chain block your SP to banish a card, and just starting your turn with that interaction, you can break a lot of boards. And the rest of it is just the Fiendsmith engine. These cards just push for games so easily. You were able to break so many boards just after you push with your Dracotail, you push with your K9, and they just feel like they're safe. And then you just have 2 dead bodies on the field. You just make a moon, and then they're like, "Oh no, I'm screwed." So
How many times did you Fiendsmith the combo?
probably every game. I made sure to always do this last. The only part you have to play around is Rahu and Blue fusion lock you. So you just hold the Rahu. A lot of times what I do is I'd set Rahu off of the effects from fusion, and then there'll be pressure to like Caesar pop it or do certain things to get rid of it. And then what that'll do is that they'll think that's my last play or my last push, because usually in Dracotail decks Rahu is the last push. But then after that I just use the fusion monsters to go into moon, and then after you link off the Caesar and the sequence to make a Gumday, both of the fusions just come back, and then you just have like 10k damage on the field anyways.
That sounds broken.
Yeah. So that's the extra deck. Side deck now. Lancia. I didn't see this at all, but I did played 1 Malice and 2 Crystron. In theory, it was there for it, but I didn't see it at all. This was probably the best card I sided all day. Book of Eclipse. I played 5 Yummies, which is already the best matchup for us for this deck. But this just made it so much easier. Just constantly chaining this card, kind of nullifying everything they do. The next card was Dark Ruler. This card was kind of solely dedicated to just negating Arclight. That's the only card I cared about actually Arclighting or Dark Ruling. And then the Crystron board, which I realized was basically unoutable. I was kind of hoping to draw that, but that's what I lost to in top 32 and did not see that card. So those are like all going second options. For going first, I sided Chaotic Element just to be able to see Jokel better when I go first. I just take out all the Charmies and then just put usually this 3 plus anything else. This makes it easier to see Jokel, because Jokel by itself with a 5 is full K9 package plus Desiree, which by itself is usually enough to just win the game by that without including any Dracotail cards. So I just wanted to maximize that going first. And then the last kind of like personal fun card that I figured out that kind of was good was 5 Rainbow Magician. This was for the VS matchup just because of how low their spell count was. When I go first, I can just place it. It turns off their Azuna and their Holy Sue, and then go second if they use their spell and traps, like I can force with Ugula. I just activate it and their entire field is negated. So that was just a fun thing that I figured out, and I did do it twice and multiple times. The guy I played against read the card probably 4 times in the same turn.
Couldn't do anything, eh?
You just couldn't do anything. And there is a funny part in turn 0. If you fuse it off, it sees you set a card and then it can place itself in the zone turn 0. So if they have no spells and traps in their hand, which they don't play a lot, they just can't do anything. So that is the deck profile.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
All right. Before we get to shoutouts, do you want to open this guy here?
Yeah, so this is our day 2 pack.
Okay. What are we hoping for?
Let's see, blue eyes.
Oh,
Gaga
no.
magician. I love
All right,
that.
it's okay. It's for your Gaga strategy in
Yeah,
the future.
I love that. For me.
All right. Any
Probably the worst card to pull. That's okay.
Yeah. Any shout outs you want to give out?
Yeah, shout out to the boys, Sean, Seville, Justin, Simon. Shout out Tyler as well. Specifically,
Tyler.
shout out to
Hello.
Simon and Justin. Their howl Friday night really motivated me, and I think that was one of the driving forces of me typing.
Fantastic.
So I just feel like that was an important factor of the night.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Any are you gonna be going to any future events?
Maybe
you think?
this one kind of motivated me. I think so. To maybe go to more of them. Shout out to Common Box. Shout out to Shoebox. Shout out to EDC. Those are all the great stores and kind of OTS we do. So yeah.
Sounds
Catch
good.
everybody.
All right. Catch you guys later.
Yeah.